Hi, James.
What's the injury news? How's everyone come back from the international break, and how are the other guys progressing in their rehab?
The only one who came back with the injuries was Jeff. He felt his hamstring, so he's not going to be involved in the game tomorrow. Everybody else came back fit. Izzy and Nathan are progressing, and it's still going to take a while for them to go back and start training with the team.
When you say a while, is that weeks?
It's really difficult to put time on that because it's quite long time injuries. So we want to do things well, and there's a process to go through. And at the moment, they are doing well, but it's too early to talk about them coming back and get involved in training with the first team.
And is this weekend too soon for Michael Elise as well?
He's been working well in the last 2 weeks, and he's trained all the week with the squad, and he will be involved in the game tomorrow.
That must be very good news for you.
Yes, it's good news for the football club. It's a good news for him. He was really frustrated, but we had to go through to the progress to get him fit, and he's been doing really well, and he will be part of the group tomorrow.
And your two new signings, Edouard and Will Hughes, how are they settling in?
Good. I think the international break helped them to take time to work and to know the teams, the players, the way we want to play, and I'm really happy with the two players.
And they'll feature this weekend. Then, what do you hope they'll bring?
Both of them. They are really good on the ball, really good quality. I think Edouard, he can play his back against the goal. He can hold the ball. He can run in behind. He can score goals. He's a really interesting player with a good experience in the European level. Will, really good technically. With the way we want to play, he will be an important player for us. He didn't train very much in the last couple of weeks, but he catch up quite well lately, and is somebody that will allow us to play a little bit more quicker going forward.
The international break can be a help or a hindrance for clubs, depending on where you're at and how many players you lose, etc. But what's it been like for you? Has it been a chance for you to put your stamp on the team and get the players tuned into how you want to play?
Yeah, I think that period was important for me to implement the philosophy that I will want to put in place. I think it was really interesting to have those 2 weeks with no games and players keep working together. And tactically, we work a lot. I think when you're looking at the last game that we played against West Ham, I think we showed that we're improving as a team. Obviously, everything wasn't perfect. There's still some part of the game that we really need to improve. And that kind of international period helped us to really focusing on the details.
And it's Tottenham this weekend. As a former Arsenal player, does that rivalry still burn deep within you?
It is an important game for us. We played at home, and we want to do well. We want to win. We want to take the 3 points. And to allow ourselves to do that, we will have to play well, to play really good football. And obviously, this is a derby, and we have to focusing on the process of trying to get the 3 points.
But from a personal point of view, any added motivation?
No. I'm not a player anymore, so this kind of rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham is in the past.
You don't think it will come back to you when you're on the sideline?
Not inside me, not for me for sure.
And can I ask you as well, your former manager, Arsene Wenger, is proposing a World Cup every 2 years. What have you made of that?
I think it's just an idea that he's putting on the table for people to discuss. I think there's a panel who are talking about if it's a good idea or not. The only concern that I have on that is about the number of games that those players will have to play. So that will be the only remark that I will have to make. Then I think that there's a people around and we'll take time to think about if that is a good idea or not. But I think he put it on the table for people to talk about it and give their opinions.
And as a World Cup winner, one of the arguments is that World Cup every 2 years devalues the tournament. What do you think about that?
I think it's just because we are used to have the World Cup every 4 years and everything's new. We are maybe difficult to accept it because it's a new ideas. But obviously having the World Cup every 2 years it's more important, I would say, than every 2 years. If you have the World Cup every 2 years, I think you always have a chance in 2 years after to win it again. So for me, I think that will lose a little bit of its importance to have the World Cup every 2 years.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, James.
Thanks very much. We'll go to Anita Jones, Premier League Productions.
Afternoon, Patrick. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
I know you touched on the two new signings in Will Hughes and Odsonne Edouard. I just wanted to get your overall thoughts on the business done in the transfer window, because leading up to those, you had said that you felt you were short in places.
Yeah, I believe that we're still a little bit short on some places. We wanted to do more business, and we couldn't do it. But overall, I think I'm really satisfied with the business that we did. We bring some young talent, and I think we have the squad that compete in the Premier League.
I know when you were asked about the rivalry, being a former Arsenal captain, you said that you put it to one side, it's in the past. But I have to ask, do you feel any more added pressure going into this game, having all of that behind you?
No, not at all. I think that that game, the focus, it's really about performing well and give ourselves a chance to win the game. That game will be as important as the one we played against West Ham, and that is a derby as well. The fact that I used to play this Arsenal Tottenham is not important for me, and it will not going to be important for me tomorrow.
You just spoke about the game against West Ham. I think it's fair to say you're probably the underdogs going into that, but you came from behind twice. How much confidence does that performance that you saw from your team and the players give going into this one against Tottenham?
Yeah, I think the performance against West Ham, especially in the second half, give us confidence and belief about what we can achieve. There is a lot of positive points to take from that game. So we have to go into the game tomorrow with the same kind of spirit, desire, commitment, knowing that the fans will be there and 200% behind ourselves. We will have to play with tempo and believe that we can have a positive result.
I know you're probably aware of all the stats when it comes to Tottenham now. Top of the table, 3 out of 3 wins. They haven't conceded any goals. What are your thoughts on how Nuno's getting on there?
I think he's doing fantastically well. When you start in a new club, you're winning the first 3 games and you didn't concede a goal. I think it's difficult to do better than that. But that will be a really good challenge for us. We went to West Ham in a difficult place and we played with a lot of personality. And tomorrow the challenges will be the same. So playing against the team who are at the top at the moment, who are playing well. That is a really good challenge. And I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow because we are ready to give them a good game.
Right. Thank you, Patrick, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to Alex Howell, BBC Sport.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Alex.
Mark Gahey was named England under-21 captain. Have you seen those kind of leadership qualities around training, and could he be a future Palace captain?
I don't know if if he can be the Palace captain in the future, but he has the ability to be a captain. He's a natural leader. He's really calm. He's really composed, and I think that is a sign of a leadership. And I'm really happy with the way he's conducting himself at the moment on and off the field.
And World Cup every 2 years aside, do you think the football calendar needs to be looked at? Does it need to be modernised?
I think having the World Cup every 2 years will be really difficult. I think we have to think about the players, and having the World Cup every 2 years, we may ask them too much. And this is something that we have to take into consideration. And I think having that kind of debate on the table, I think is quite really interesting. But something that we have to take into consideration is the physical aspect of the game, and the physicality that players will have to go through. And for me, that will be the biggest remark on that.
And finally, Tottenham tomorrow, what are the challenges that they will bring to Selhurst Park?
It's the team that, when we look at them play, they are quite really compact. It is a big strength if you lose the ball, because they are quite fast, quick on the 1v1. They are quite, they've got pace, really individual talent up front. And we have to be well organized and move the ball quick with tempo.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. We'll go to Ian Abraham's TalkSport.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Hi, Patrick. How are you?
Ian, I'm good. And yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you surprised that Arsene Wenger has put forward this idea of a World Cup every 2 years? Because I used to sit through many press conferences, and he did used to bemoan the fact that players had to travel a lot. And I just don't understand why every 2 years would be any better for players than every 4 years.
I think Arsene Wenger is always ahead of everybody, and I think he's a visionary, and I think he's got these ideas, and he worked around that idea to have the World Cup every 2 years, and he's just put it in the media for people to discuss about it. And I think it's really interesting. People will come with is a good idea, is a bad idea. There will be a debate, a conversation. And I believe there is a panel who will make the right decision. But something that, for me, that we need to take into consideration is the physical aspect and what we're asking the players to do. And that is why I think it is a really interesting debate to have. And then we just have to evaluate the risk of having the players to play so many games with a little bit of rest.
Off the back of that, I know UEFA are against it at the moment, but if we did end up with the World Cup every 2 years, I'm sure it wouldn't be long before we had a European Championship every 2 years, and then we'll be asking the players even more. I mean, you played in both, you won both.
Yeah, but this is why I think it is, maybe football has to go through those kind of questions and try to get the best ideas and the best calendar, I will say, to allow players to express themselves in a higher level. Again, what we really need to take into consideration is the health of the players. We can't ask them to travel around the world to play games and to come back and play in a national level 3 days after. It's difficult to ask them to go to the international duty and play 3-4 games in 10 days. This is a massive risk that they are taking. So I think there's the conversations going around. If we find the right calendar that allowed players to play at the level and not putting themselves into a physical danger, I will say it, why not? But all these kind of questions need a proper answer.
Going on to your team, Conor Gallagher scored twice at West Ham in the last game. I saw him on Tuesday. He was very good again for the England under-21s. Says he modelled his game, or his hero growing up was Frank Lampard. You see any traits of either Frank Lampard or even your game in Conor Gallagher, being box-to-box player and being able to score goals?
I think it will be a big challenge to score as many goals as Frank did during his career. But I think it is a really good comparison because Conor has the kind of physical ability to allow him to get inside the box and to create chances. I think when you look at the 2 goals that he scored against West Ham, showing his commitment to get inside the box and obviously the quality to score those goals, to finish the way they did. This is the challenge for him, is about getting into this dangerous area to allow him to score those goals. I think he can do it, and obviously he will do it, and it will be a big season for him.
Here's the most unfair question you're going to face today. You played with Ian Wright and Thierry Henry, who were very good strikers. How would you rate Harry Kane? If you were comparing him in a bracket with those two, would you put Harry Kane in the same sort of bracket as a Wrighty and a Thierry Henry?
I think Kane and Wrighty are a different type of players. Wrighty was more inside the box finisher, and Kane can finish inside the box, outside of the box. He can create chances. I believe he's this kind of modern number 9, and he can change position. You can compare those 2 players, I would say, because the quality are completely different. Thierry Henry, I'm sorry, but is in a different level. I love Keane. I think he's a fantastic player, but Thierry is still Thierry.
Thierry's top, is he? No one ever better than Thierry Henry. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, yes.
Wow. Last one, I'm not disagreeing. Last one, how much are we going to sort of really look forward to seeing your team play when you get the likes of Michael Olise in there and Eberechi Eze fit again, and we can really see all these really good young players?
The good thing is that everybody's coming back from injuries. We still have Nathan and Eze. We still long way to go because there was quite a bad injuries. But it's good to see Michael's coming from injuries. It's good to see Lucas coming from injuries, and as a manager to have all these kind of players available, it's really good for the team. I'm really looking forward to the games tomorrow. We have a really good couple of weeks to work on the details that we didn't do well against West Ham. But it's still a long way to go. What I really want is to see the teams improving game after game, and I think this is what we've been doing. All the games that we played so far, and when you look at the games that we played against West Ham, we've seen a really good improvement collectively, and I expect the teams to go again to a different level tomorrow.
Thank you once again for your time, Patrick. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Ian. Okay, that concludes the broadcast section of the press conference.